for homework C. Okay, so this, we don't have to factor anything. We just need to write stuff out. You know, with all those exponents and stuff, don't let it confuse you. If you have 6c squared, that really means you have 6 and 2 c's, right? You have c minus 7, and then you have c plus 3, what is that, squared? So how many c plus 3's? Good. So that's the top, the numerator. Now on the bottom, we have 3c. Oh my goodness, how many c plus 3's do we have? 4. Okay, so I gotta write small here so I can fit them all in. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. Overlap. And then c minus 5. Yeah? So now this is the fun part. Cross out the things that are the same on the top and on the bottom, right? So what is the same? C what? C plus 3, so 1 to 1. And then another C plus 3?
Yeah,
1 to 1. You can't double dip. Like, you can't use 1 and try to cross out multiple ones. You know what I mean? It has to be 1 for 1. Okay, what else? A C, good. This C and that C. Anything else? Nothing that you can cross out, but what about simplify? Good. 6 over 3 turns into what? 2. So then let's just clean this up. Let's rewrite it. Yeah? So we have 2c, c minus 7, all over with a c minus 5. And then how many c plus 3's do we have left over? So can I just put square? Is that okay? So last time, guys, we talked about simplifying rational expressions, right? Now today we're going to talk about multiplying and dividing. And the good part is that they're all really similar, okay? All right, so let's go over the different steps. Okay, so step 1, factor, factor, factor.
I already watched this one. Some lady did it and put on their YouTube channel.
What? What? What did you say?
Some lady did this last week, put it on your YouTube channel already.
But now I'm... All right, so we're going to factor. Factor, factor, factor. Step 2. Then you're going to cancel or cross out any factors that appear in the numerator and in the denominator, just like simplifying, right? Anything that's the same. And then step 3, we're just going to multiply our factors that are left over straight across. By multiplying, I mean, really, you're just rewriting it, right? So, number 1, you know, do you see any plus or minuses here, guys? No. So, really, everything is multiplying. I think the easiest thing to do here, since you guys all have calculators, take all the numbers and multiply it straight across. All the numbers from the top. What is 3 times 4 times 14? Okay, so that's 168. This is in the numerator on the top. How many x's do I have on the top? X cubed, x to the third. Okay. Now on the bottom, let's do the same thing. Let's multiply all of our numbers. So what's 4 times 21 times 4? How many x's are on the bottom?
None. Well, there's 1.
1, and then there's 5 here, so that's 6. Yes. See that?
Yeah.
So now, guys, let's simplify this. Take just a number. Here, 168 over 136, that fraction. Can you simplify it? What's wrong? 336. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, sorry.
Yep, it goes to half.
Yep, 1/2. Now look at your x's. Guys, on top I have 3 x's, and on the bottom I have 6.
Then you have none left.
So 1, 2, 3 cancel out. How many are left? On the, so there you go. Okay? Good. So I want you guys to try number 2, please. I think you can do this one. Number 2. Number 2. So did you guys get this? Let me see. Up on top, 5 times 6 is 30. I have x to the 5th and y cubed. Down at the bottom, I have 20 and y to the what? 4. Because you got a y here and y cubed there. So did you guys simplify this further? Yeah? So let's see. Oh, yep. 3 over 2. How many x's are left? On the where? Okay. And then what about my y's? 1 on the bottom. Great job. Super. And there you go. That is your final answer. Did we all get this? Okay. And we can move on. Let's go to number 3. So this is where the fun stuff begins. Okay? Number 3. You know, if you have a fraction times a fraction, you can actually make this just one long fraction line. Because that's all it is. Okay? We're basically multiplying everything on the top together, everything on the bottom, but you have to factor everything. You're not like doing a distributing, you're factoring. Okay? So, let's see. Let's start with this top one right here, x plus 1. Okay? Well, actually, I'll do this. I'll do a highlight. Can I factor that? No, that's already a factor, right? So I'm just going to write x plus 1. Since it's on the top, I keep it on the top. Now, do you want to go down or do you want to go to the right? Okay. Go to the right. So now we have x squared minus x minus 6. Isn't this AM? We did a bunch of these last time, right? Two numbers that multiply to give me negative 6 and adds to give me negative 1. What are they? 2 and negative 3. Great job. So since it's just a plain old x squared, I can just put that right here, right? X plus 2, x minus 3. Yeah? And remember, that's on the top, so keep it on the top. Alright, and then let's go down. Let's look at this guy, right? Abner, don't you look at me like that. Alright, so then we have x squared plus 2x minus 3. Isn't this an AM? Two numbers that multiply to give me negative 3, but adds to give me a positive 2. What are they? 3 and negative 1? Because I have to add to give me a positive 2, right? So this is a plain old x squared. I can just go straight to the bottom, put x plus 3, x minus 1. And then I just have one more left over to factor. Isn't it that one? Right? So I have, let me see, AM, I'll just do this over here. Two numbers that multiply to give me negative 3, adds to give me negative 2. What are they? So if I do 3 and negative 1, then that has to give me a positive 2. Negative 3 and positive 1. So then that's x minus 3 and x plus 1. I'm just going to write it underneath because I ran out of room. You see how everything that I factored stayed where it was originally, right? If I got the expression from the top, it stays on the top. If I got the expression from the bottom, it stays on the bottom, okay? Now, this is the fun part. Guys, what can I cross out?
X minus 3.
X minus 3s,
X plus 1.
X plus 1s. Is that it? Yeah, looks like that's it. Okay. Sorry, let me just make this smaller. Shrink it down, and yep, so my final answer, which I need to rewrite, is x plus 2 over x plus 3 times x minus 1, and there we go. Questions? All right, so let's look at number 4. We're going to do the same thing, guys. So I have a fraction times a fraction, so I'm just going to make it one long fraction. And you know what? We need to factor everything.
R4 is different
What?
than R4 is different than
Is it?
we only have the 4x. You have the 4x.
All right. I love that you guys are working. Let me see. This AM, two numbers that multiply to give me negative 12 and adds to give me 4. Good. 6 and negative 2. And it's a plain old x squared, so I could just say x plus 6, x minus 2. I'll go over to the right here. It's another AM. Two numbers that multiply to give me negative 35 and adds to give me a negative 2. Oh no, I went to the right, sorry. So what did you get for those? We could do the 31. Yeah, negative 7 and 5. Then that gives me negative 2. So x minus 7, x plus 5. Yeah? Okay, and then now down to the bottom. It's another AM situation. What's this? Two numbers that multiply to give me 30 and adds to give me 11. What did you get for that? 30. Did you do 30 divided by x and then go to second graph? 5 and 6. Because 5 times 6 gives me 30, but 5 plus 6 gives me 11. X plus 5, x plus 6. And then now over here, x plus 4. Can I factor this? No, it's already a factor, right? It's just x plus 4, right? Did I say x plus 6? Did I say x plus 4?
No, I said X plus 6.
Oh, you said x plus 4. All right. So then now this is the fun part. Cancel. What can I cancel here?
X plus 6.
X plus 6, and what'd you say? X plus 5. What else? That's it. Okay, so then now I have x minus 2, x minus 7, all over x plus 4. And there we go. Okay? All right. Let's go to number 5. More factoring. More multiplying, right? So if I see a fraction times a fraction, I can just draw my line really long. And then we need to factor everything. So I'm going to start with up here. So guys, the 4x squared minus 4x. I can't AM it. I only have 2 terms. What's the first step in factoring?
You can divide it.
Yeah. What can I divide both of those by? Just 4? What else do they both have? X. So you could divide it by 4x. So then you get x minus 1. Yeah? You have 4x, and then you have x minus 1. You know what? I'll do Abner's way, and then I'll go down to this one this time. Okay? This is just a plain old x squared, right? X squared an, right? Two numbers that multiply to give me -3 and adds to give me a +2. What are they? 3 and -1. X plus 3, x minus 1. Now, I'm going to go to this one. 4x. Guys, can I even do anything with that 4x? No, it is just what it is. And then I'm going to go up here. Okay, so I saved this one for last because this one's a little bit crazy. If I have 5x squared plus 13x minus 6, I know this is AF, right?
You get a 5 and multiply to the 6.
Good. This is one of those swing AFs because you can't GCF it out. 5, 13, and 6, the GCF is 1. So just like Tillman said, you have to multiply it with a -6, and that gives you your new M.
It's 30.
Yeah, well, -30, right? And what is still your A number?
It is 13.
13. So what two numbers multiply to give you -30 but adds to give you 13? Positive 13? Focus on. That's 15 and -2. So remember, whenever you do the swing way, you have to bring down the first, bring down the last, and then rewrite the middle using your two numbers. So we could say plus 15x minus 2x. All right, Tom, you writing this down? And then let's divide this in half. And then you just find the GCF of both sides, right? On the left-hand side, your GCF should be 5x. So you get x plus what?
3.
Good. On the right-hand side, though, what is your GCF?
2.
Just the 2?
-2.
-2, because it's starting with a negative. Good. I know I did this right because why?
They're matching.
Yeah, the parentheses match. So then you can put x plus 3 and then put your 5x minus 2 in the other one. Okay, so we have x plus 3, and then we have 5x minus 2. Now, it's the fun part. What can I cross out? X minus 1, x plus 3, 4x. Yep, the 4 and the x. So what's left over? On the top or the bottom? Good. So if it's on the top, you can just say your answer is 5x minus 2. Or your simplified expression is 5x minus 2. Pretty good, right? Any questions so far? Yeah? All right. So let's look at number 6. So number 6, another multiplication. All right, that means I can draw a long fraction. It means I need to do more factoring. Start with this guy. X squared minus 25. How do I factor that one?
Usually put the
It's
The root.
Yeah, it's a square root one. Yep, so it's difference of squares. So this is dose. Remember, dose is double parentheses, opposite sign. What's the square root of x squared? Or the square root of 25 is 5. What's the square root of x squared?
X.
X. So it's x plus 5 and x minus 5. Yeah? And then let's go over here to this x cubed minus 27. Guys,
What's up?
good, because it's x to the third, right? So great job. So SOAP has a special little setup, right? We have to do our 2 and the 3. What's the cube root of x cubed? X. What's the cube root of 27? 3. What goes in this first one? X squared. Because you got to multiply this first one times itself, right? What goes in the middle? Good. You multiply the two together. And then what goes last? 9. Good. Because it's 3 times 3. And then same sign. Opposite. Always plus. And then let's go over here. Let's do AM. Let's do AM for both of those. I want you guys to take a few seconds. Let's do the AMs for our denominator. All right, so the first one, multiplies to 6 and gives me a negative 5. Negative, good, negative 3 and negative 2. So x minus 3, x minus 2. How about the second one? Multiplies to negative 15, adds to give me 2. Good, 5 and negative 3. So x plus 5, x minus 3. So what can we cross out here? What do you see?
X plus 5.
X minus 3. And then
Plus 5.
x plus 5. Anything else? That's it. Good. So your final answer is x minus 5 times this trinomial. And remember, if you get a trinomial from your SOAP factoring, you can't and factor it anymore, okay? That trinomial is prime. All right? That's what we have. Okay, any questions about the multiplying? All right, we're getting a lot of factoring practice in, aren't we?
It's similar to addition.
Huh?
It's similar to addition.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's pretty good. It's similar to that simplifying thing that we did. So let's go to the back of our notes and let's talk about dividing. Okay? So we can also divide rational expressions. And here's the thing. When you divide, when you divide fractions, you're really multiplying by the reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay? So with this, here's what we're going to do. Step number 1, we're going to rewrite our problem, our division problem, as a multiplication problem. And this means that we need to flip the second fraction in order to do so. Here's what I always think of when I do the division. It has to be same times flip. Your first fraction is same, stays the same. Your division turns into a times. And what do you do with your second fraction? Flip. Okay? That's what that is. And step number 2, Same thing as multiplication. We need to factor, factor, and factor every single expression. Factor, factor, factor. Step 3. And then it's the same as multiplication. You just want to cancel or cross out any factors that are the same in your numerator and in your denominator. Okay. And then step 4, just multiply the factors that are left over straight across, which is basically you're just rewriting it, right? I don't want you to FOIL it, distribute it, just leave it in factored form. Alright, so let's look at number 1. Okay, I see a division. We're not dividing, right? We're really multiplying. So I have to tell myself, okay, this is S times F. Like San Francisco. Sweet Frog. You know, my students used to get all like, they used to make up things for that. They don't have fun with it anymore. Alright, so we're going to rewrite this. First fraction stays the same. So we have x minus 4, and on the bottom, we have x minus 2 squared. You guys told me that's like having 2 of them. So there we go. And this division turns into a what? Times, right?
Yeah.
So we kept the first one the same. We turned the division into a times. What do you do with the second fraction? Flip it. So this x squared minus 4 goes on top. And this x squared minus 3x minus 4 goes on the bottom. And then look, now it's exactly what we were doing on the front page, just multiplying, right? Now let's just factor everything and let's see what we can cancel out. So I should probably write a little bit smaller next time. There we go. X minus 4 on the bottom, x minus 2 times x minus 2. X squared minus 4, isn't that a dose? So we have x plus 2, x minus 2. Right? I mean, I could put the times here, but it doesn't really matter, right? It's all just multiplying anyway. On the bottom, we have AM. 2 numbers that multiply to give me negative 4, adds to give me negative 3. What are they? Negative 4 and 1. So it's x minus 4, x plus 1. So what can I cross out? Tom, you writing anything? What are you doing?
That's true.
X minus 2 and x minus 4. So then what's left over is x plus 2 over x minus 2 times x plus 1. Not bad, right? Let's do the next one. Oh, division. So this has to be S times F. Right? So we're going to keep the first, I'm going to draw my long fraction line. Let's see if I can write this a little bit smaller. First one I keep the same, so I'll say 4x over 6x minus 24. Change your division sign to a times. Don't forget to flip your second one. X squared minus 6x plus 8 over x squared minus 2x. Okay? You don't have to put the parentheses, but I like to. Now, let's factor. Now, if I start with this 4x, can I even factor that 4x? No, 4x is 4x, right? And then, let's look at this guy. There we go. 6x minus 24. Not a dose, it's not a soap, it's not an AM. Can I do a GCF? 6 divided by 6. You get x minus 4. So 6 times x minus 4. Now back up here for an AM. Two numbers I multiply to give me 8 and add to give me negative 6. What are they? Good. Negative 4, negative 2. So then that's x minus 4, x minus 2. And then the x squared minus 2x, not dose. Does that one have a GCF? What do they both have? X. Good. So take the x out of there. You have x minus 2. So x times x minus 2. Yeah? So now that I'm done factoring, this is always the fun part, the canceling out. What can I cancel out? X minus 4s. What else? X minus 2s. What else? Huh? X. Wow, so what's left over? So 4 over 6, which, can you simplify that further? Good. 2 over 3. So 2/3 is your final simplified answer. Okay? Questions? Comments? All right? Bring sunglasses indoors, right? Even like black sunglasses like blue. All right, let's look at the next one. It's very interesting. People walk around the hallway. Okay. Same times F. Why? Why do I know to write same times F? Yeah, why?
Because we need to make sure that the first one's in the same, then the addition is the multiplication sign. We need to flip.
Yep. But remember, you only do S times F if you see a divide. If it just says multiply, you just factor and cancel, okay? If you see a divide, you change it to S times F. All right, so let's do that. First one stays the same. My divide changes to a times. I flip the second one. And then let's factor. So I want you guys to factor this one, please. I'll give you a head start. All right, so when you factor, this is what you should have. Yeah, about those. Okay, so now I'm going to give the AM right below it. X plus 3, x minus 1 for that one. And then up top, x minus 6, x plus 3. And then down at the bottom is just x plus 5. So, now's the fun part. What can I cancel out? X plus 3. Is that it? Okay. So we have there we go. Is this pretty easy? Is it fun? Not fun? Is it painful? It does take a long time. But you know what? Here's the bright side. It's not painful. And it's not super new. Like, you guys have done all this. Right?
Yeah.
Alright. So let's look at number 4. Okay, number 4 is really important. Okay? Because, right? Because, look at this. Are they both fractions? They're not both fractions right now, right? But I've seen division, so I know I need to do S times F. How do I turn that x cubed minus 8 into a fraction? Not over it. Underneath it. Put a 1 underneath. Yep, so then when you go to flip it, it'll be 1 over x cubed minus 8. Yeah? Alright, so let's do that. Keep the first one the same. Then the divide turns into a multiply. And then we have 1 over x cubed minus 8. So guys, let's factor this. That first one. So I have 4x cubed minus 12x squared plus 8x. Guys, I see a GCF there. What? You don't. 4 and what else? Thank you, Sydney, who's not joking and is serious and telling me the right answer. Abner, you think it's not cool to be good in math? It is. It's very cool. 3x plus.
Well, I just figured out like looking.
So then now look at this. You have a trinomial inside, so please do the AM with that one. Two numbers that multiply to give you 2, but add to give you negative 3. Good. Okay. So I'm going to just put this up. 4x, x minus 2, x minus 1. Super. And then down at the bottom, this guy. Do I need to do anything with 4x squared? No. I'm just going to write 4x squared, which is really 4 times x, right? So, okay, then the blue. Obviously, the 1 doesn't need to become anything, just a 1, right? And remember, don't try to flip this again. You already flipped it. When it's on the multiply, you just do it as is, right? X cubed minus 8, we just did that. This is a what? So. So here's my SOAP setup. X and 2, right? And then what? X squared, 2x, and then 4. Same. Opposite, always plus. And remember what I said, you cannot AM factor the trinomial that comes out of a SOAP. cancels out. 4x, 4 and the x, 4 and, oh, since I have 2 x's, then just 1 is left over, right? What else? Huh? Oh. Alright, so then we have x minus 1 over x times x squared plus 2x plus 4. That's it. Pretty good, right? I want you guys to look at the next one. I think you guys can do this next one. Oh yeah, next one definitely. You know what I recommend is instead of writing x plus 3 squared, just write it out. Put x plus 3, x plus 3, right? Because it just means you have 2 of them. Remember, this is divide, so s times f. You guys are all working so well. Thank you. So nicely. I'm going to start putting my work up. I just want you to compare it with yours, okay? Just keep working. Yeah? You have the answer already? So where did you get stuck? Uh-huh. So you're stuck here? It's the fun part. What do you mean you don't know? This is the fun part. What do you do after you factored everything? You cross out the things that are the same on the top and on the bottom. What is the same on the top and on the bottom? X plus 3. What else? X minus 3. What else? X minus 5. So what is the only thing that's left over? X plus. Good. Sabrina, did you get this? Super. Cindy? Ethan? Good. Tuin? Tom?
And can you just put like x plus 3 over 1?
You could, or you could just say x plus 3. Okay?
That's it.
Good. So guys, okay, last problem. Let's do number 6. Okay? We know the whole unit is divided in half. Alright, so number 6. Yeah, because your unit 6 was divided into 2.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit too complicated. Just a lot of information. Alright.
You would have those x squared plus minus 4.
You do. Yeah, this is what I have for my file. I'll use yellow to cross out this time. Alright? Since since your denominator has the same factors twice, you could just say x plus 2 over x plus 1 squared. Remember, next class is your mini test. Your homework is the mini test 1 review. Your review, guys, I put in a lot of extra work and I made it look just like your test, okay? So if you do this test review and you feel very great about it, you should do very well on the test, all right? I will put the answers up to this test review up on Blackboard so that you can check, all right? And what else? Please make sure that you are still working on your quarter 1 review, take-home quiz packet, okay? If you want to make sure that you get 100%, you can certainly stay after school, all right? What else? I think that's it. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No.
Okay.